I know a couple things in life. If you're able to find something that motivates you, um, gets you up in the morning, and also is your passion, it makes like getting up in the morning, it makes going to work, it makes doing whatever you do every day so much better. Me personally, when I first started on this journey of work or having a job just over broke or this career journey run, I really didn't have um, something that was aligning with my passion. In the beginning, it was just all about who gonna pay me the most, who gonna pay me the most, and who gonna pay me the most. Because in my mind, I always wanted to do some entrepreneurial things, like have an entrepreneurial business, but didn't know what. And then I always kept thinking to myself, like, will my entrepreneurial business be able to take care of a family, whenever it's time to get one? I always, kind of wondered about those type of questions, and those were some of the reasons I was like, well, if I have an entrepreneur business not making any money, that ain't gonna help. So I need to go get a job just over broke. I'm trying to move up in a career. But I really didn't have anything aligning with my purpose. And I think that's why another thing, you got to figure out what your purpose is, what you like. And I hear people all say all the time, like, your purpose doesn't really matter. You need to be making money and then you figure out your purpose later. I get them. I understand that part. I can hear them on that, especially in this economy where it's like, yo, you have a purpose, but if your purpose is paying you 50,000, that ain't really going to help pay the bills or keep you sustained. But something that's not your purpose allows you to get a job that pays 110 or 120. That's going to help you be able to keep sustained, to be able to pay the bills and do whatever else you need to be doing in your family. So I get that aspect. But if you're able to find something that's your purpose or something that you enjoy or something that you like, and it's able to align with you going to work or your side hustle or your after work business, that's always a plus. Um, I always feel like, if you're able to find a job that you do like, you do enjoy going to, it makes it a lot easier to get up in the morning to do work, solve problems, or solve issues at your job because now you're liking what you do, you feel like you're learning, and you feel like you're getting better and better and better each and every day at your job. I definitely do believe that. I know from my prior experiences before, like I've said, and I started out the gate working at the Hawks, and then thinking I was going to be able to have a chance to move up, and then saw a lot of background politics that was kind of messy, kind of got into a little racism, what some people would say when I explained it to them, what the situation was, which kind of got kind of weird. And then, just seeing all that and saying to myself, like, yeah, this ain't really it. Because I really wanted to work in sports. You know what I'm saying? I remember before going to school and, you know, getting a tryout or getting an audition or getting an interview with the The Voice program down in Orlando at UCF. And I was like, yeah, this is, but ended up not being able to go to the program because the whole backstory of other stuff that happened. But yeah, I was like, this is, then years later, getting a job with the Hawks and things like that, being like, this is it. Not realizing that getting a job in that sports field, it's a lot of BS. It's a lot of BS comes with it. So, because there's so many people fighting for a position. So there's a lot of people out there doing things that you might not be willing to do outside your character that are doing things to get promoted. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, yeah, so, going from there and then going to do a phone books and then, it was no purpose. It was just like, yo, what can I do to pay the bills, to keep going, to keep staying in the ATL, keeping this dream alive while I figure it out. And I really didn't have purpose for about 4 or 5 years. No purpose. It was just all about keeping my head above water. Had a job, looking for another job. Resume wasn't that good. Everything I'm telling you guys all about what you should do to improve is all the things that I know from prior experience, what I wish somebody would have came and told me on how to improve because I could have had a better job, better this, better a lot of things. Resume wasn't that good because I didn't show off numbers. I'm saying? I had an MBA, still didn't help, and it's because the resume reflects who you are. If your resume is piss poor, you're not going to get through the little scan system, But if your resume is top notch, then you'll get through the system. So, all those different types of things. and it was just a experience of time of not having a purpose. The only thing I think when I didn't have a purpose in my career, like some of my other friends who were going through the career ladder, knowing where they wanted to be, I think I spent a lot of my time doing things that I probably shouldn't have been doing. Chasing women, talking to women, going on trips, messing with women, um, going out to clubs, working on my business here and there, not really being as focused as I need to. But it was just something that was just happening. And I think everything was happening because I didn't have a purpose as to what I wanted to do. Once I was able to get a purpose, and like I am now, and how I was years, like how I have a purpose now, and I had one a couple years ago, figuring out my purpose aligned with what I wanted to do, everything came into fruition like this. Everything started becoming better. Everything started becoming more. It started to make more sense. Yeah, it started to show me where my North Star was, where I needed to go, how I needed to get there, and what I needed to do to get there. Figuring out, all right, I'm gonna start a business I'm gonna start a business for water. All right, how am I get there? I need to work this CPG job. No, working the CPG job allowed me to be like, I wouldn't mind starting a beverage. I could do this. I'm working on the field. I'm working in the marketing. I'm working in the sales. I'm doing a lot of sales and all this stuff. I could do this. I'm figuring out what they're doing. I'm figuring out how it works, figuring out this, figuring out that, you know. Then that kind of got my mind like, do a beverage. And then it kind of got my mind thinking like, what would be the lowest entry to barrier? That would be a beverage, because some other things that you want to create cost a lot more money, and you better have money for like research and development, things like that. But figuring out what my North Star was and figuring out my purpose. This was allowing me to figure out my purpose once I was able to figure out working that job, what I wanted to do and what my purpose was. It allowed me from there to be able to start picking jobs that are going to help me reach my goal of my purpose. Because when you don't have your purpose or what you don't like, you're always constantly wondering around about figuring out what you do like and what you don't like. I ended up taking a job, another startup. Like I told y'all, I was startup CPG. Didn't really like what we were selling a product that really wasn't selling. I didn't really care, but I used it as CPG University. And at the end of the day, I used it as CPG University, and at the end of the day, it helped me figure out my purpose on where I wanted to be, what I needed to do, how I needed to go there. Now, some of you all are going to say to yourself, well, Eric, it's easier said than done. I'm not always able to find a purpose. And I'm just having jobs where I'm in like accounting or something, and I don't have no purpose in this, but it pays. Well, you got to start figuring out what your purpose is outside of work. Meaning, all right, if you're getting paid in the field that you don't like, then you need to start figuring out stuff outside of work, picking up things that start trying things outside of work, whether it be, bookmaking, carpentry, whatever, gardening. Start figuring out things outside of work, because what that does is it'll start helping you figure out the things that you do like outside of work, and your job will start allowing you to have the income to work on those projects so that you can eventually, be full-time with them, or you can have them as a great side hustle. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the quicker that you have funds, the quicker you can get into what you really love to do. If you have funds saved up to pay your bills and everything else, or to fund this, the quicker you can get into that. So that's how you have to think about it when it comes to finding your hustle when you're in a field that you don't like. You just have to take time off of work. When you're off work at 5, play around with those things. On the weekend, try different things, start reading different books. Just start, I like to say, like the kids say, just start being messy with it. Just start trying things and figure that out as you go. Don't worry about having a plan. The only plan is, look, I like to garden. All right, I'm going to buy some plants, see how this goes. It don't work out well. All right, I like to make clothes. I like to feel like I might want to sell clothes, buy some clothes, look online, try it out. It don't work, you don't like it. All right, I want to do bounce houses. Buy a bounce house, look around, try it on Facebook. You don't like it, figure it out. Eventually, you're going to find it. It might be volunteering. You volunteer once, you like it. Next thing you know, you have your own volunteering business, nonprofit, all that kind of stuff. But the purpose of the goal is for you to get to where you got to get to. You got to get out there and try it. You got to get out there and figure out what you like. And you got to get out there and see what fits you. And as a person who's like, all right, I like this. This fits my passion. This fits what I want to do. And then from there, you will be able to figure out like this aligns with my passion, this aligns with my goals. And even though I may have a job I don't like, I'm able to make enough money. I've sustained my side hustle, my business, or my nonprofit, or the things I work on the weekend to make enough money where I'm able to leave my business to work on this full time. Or if you don't, at least you'll be able to have this. You know, you get out work from making all this money at a job you don't like. You're able to go to your nonprofit or your side business or whatever and leave the stress of whatever you're going through to work on that to be in a good position where you need to be. So that's why I'm saying, man, you just gotta get out there and you have to figure out what you like, because that's what I did. I didn't like what I was doing for 4 or 5 years, and then finally found a gig, and I was like, well, this gig seemed like it's cool. Started working, and I was like, I like this. I like this. But I would have never found that gig if I hadn't got out there and said to myself, I know nothing about this, but I'm going to try it. I know nothing about this, but I'm going to try this CPG thing. And sure enough, I tried it and then realized I like this. I like this selling. I like this going around talking to people. I like this merchandise. I like all this stuff. This is cool. I'm learning new things, planogram. I'm learning all this. So once I got into that and realized I liked it, the rest was history. But it took 3, 4 years. But at the same time, though, it was worth the wait because now I have a purpose, know where I'm going, know my North Star, and know exactly what I need to be doing. So that's how you need to be. So remember, words of the day, words for the month, be intentional, be meticulous. Be intentional what you want, how you going to get it. Be intentional about aligning whatever you like up with your purpose, your passion, so you can finally get there. You know, you might have to work a job you don't like to get to where you want to get to, but at least you'll have the funds to be able to pay for the passion and the purpose that you want. And be meticulous. Break down how you're going to get there, how you're going to keep it. When you find out your passion, how can you grow it more so it could be your full-time business or full-time, you know, what you want it to be. Or you may not want that. You may want to keep working your job, and that's fine. But be meticulous about how you're going to be able to manage both so you can make sure to have your passion be your stress reliever from your job. And last but not least, keep living your life. Because if you don't, your life is not going to live